want to thank you all for coming, first of all. We are here to pay our respects to our honored dead, to remember the life and mark the death of Roman Rios Ramirez. Dad left a lasting impression on all of us. Born in 1926, passed in 2022. On this earth nearly 10 decades before he finally gave in to age and moved on. A reading from Matthew 11:28 and 30. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Dad is at rest now. Ray wouldn't have wanted a big fuss over his passing, so we'll keep this observant as short as possible. If I were to use a few words to describe who Ray was, they would be industrious, lighthearted, and ornery. Industrious. Dad worked at anything, for as long as I can remember. He didn't smother us with fancy living, but we were fed and we each learned what it meant by work ethic. The first house I was old enough to remember was built by Ray. He never had any education on construction. He just decided what he wanted to do, and he did it. Lighthearted. No matter how hard he worked, he was quick to laugh, and if the right song played, he would start dancing. And I can imagine it would be a safe bet that each of us boys hears the right song. We might be tempted to break into dance, but we won't, because unlike Dad, we know we don't know how to dance. Ornery. When Ray made a decision, to him it was final. Right, wrong, or indifferent, he would stick to his guns. He wasn't much of a debater. He only had a black and a white crayon. If your opinion didn't fit into that, then you were wrong. I would have to say that each of his sons ran into that conflict more than once. I would also have to say that in spite of having a lot more colors in my crayon box, I still have become very much like my father. No matter how you knew Ray, no matter what you thought of him, he was my father. He was no angel. He was no demon. He was a man who made choices that took his life on a path that not all of us would have gone. But we all have to make choices, right or wrong, and then we must live on the paths that those choices lead us to. The Lord must have seen Ray as a worthwhile effort, because he sent two great women to watch over him, Mom and Mama Lucy. The road was never easy for either one of them. We are grateful for having known Mom. Mama Lucy, you came into our lives and were one of the greatest things that had ever happened to Dad. We only pray that you will know how much you mean to us. Life is merely the journey we take to reach death. The key is to make the time in between worth having been here. Take the time to be industrious. In every moment, there is time to be lighthearted. And don't be afraid to be called ornery, because it reminds people that you are making your own choices. This worldly life is ours to build. It is our time to become who we choose to be. Dad has made the next step out of his earthly being, and he is now at peace. He leaves us here to make our choices and form our own paths. Although they cross from time to time, they will never be the same path, and someday our paths will cross Dad's path again. I, for one, will be prepared. I have a lot of crayons, and I know that I am not one of those stupid kids, hombre. Roman Rios Ramirez, we bless you with our love as you have loved us. Go in peace, and may your memory be a blessing to all who knew you. I want to thank you all for crossing paths with us today.
Amen.